Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to the show. I apologize for not having an episode last week due to having a family medical emergency. Had to go back to Omaha within like a 20-30 minute notice for um, medical, family medical emergency. Was there for about a week and then came back. And by the time I got back on Saturday or Sunday, what it was, I was completely mentally fried, running on 4 to 5.5 hours of sleep consistently each night, being at the hospital, just, if you or someone has had family medical emergencies, you know what that's like, where everything else kind of takes the back seat and you are there doing what you can, being there physically, emotionally. It takes a toll on you. But so that is why I didn't have an episode last week, because by the time I got back in town, I was just adrenaline dump, mental zombie. I just needed to just recollect myself, recharge. Took a couple days, had a bit of a funk week, but now we are back, we are here, and I got something I want to talk about. So I want to share with you guys what are the bare essential bare minimum essentials that you can do to improve your health, your fitness, your performance. Pull on these several different levers to optimize and maximize any of these buckets as you can. And just what is the lowest hanging fruit? What is the lowest hanging fruit, the bare minimum that you can do right now that will give you the largest amount of return on investment for your time? Because we all go through ruts. We all start something new, whether it's your first time really getting hold on your fitness, your nutrition, you're trying to do better this go around, or you're just coming back from a long hiatus because of life things happening. What are the bare essentials that you can do? You just kind of need to build confidence, feel some wins, and really just get past that level one, level two type stuff, if we were to like bucket that way. But before I go into that, if you were listening, if you are not subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button, that follow button on whatever platform you're listening, whether it's Spotify, Apple. I really appreciate that. And if you have a second, please go leave a show a rating on what you think. If this has been helpful for you, leave a review. Just give me your honest thoughts, because that really helps give me feedback on what has been landing well with you guys, what has been resonating with you, and what has not been. And it also helps to show grow and just pushes the channel up, so then people can find this, and it just really helps me out a lot. Would make me very happy, and it's something that's very free that you can do. It takes a couple seconds, and I would really, really appreciate that. Thank you. But going to this, so there's really three big buckets I want to dive into and see. Let's talk about what levers that we can pull on. The three different buckets that I have kind of categorized is: the first one, some type of physical practice; the second one, more of a lifestyle recovery lever; and then the third one's gonna be more on the nutrition side of stuff. So the first one, physical practice, the lowest hanging fruit that anyone and everyone that is an able-bodied person can do is walking. So walking, whether you have some type of wearable on your wrist that can track how many steps you are walking, that's a really great way for you to put the mirror in front of you to see how many steps you are actually walking. So if you guys don't know what I actually do during my day job, because all of this content creation, podcast, making content, and building my coaching and training group business on the side is my side thing. My main thing is that I work in a hospital with people who are getting medical weight loss surgery. And I have worked there for 2.5 years now. And one of the first things I always ask people in every single visit with them is we talk about steps, because it's the lowest hanging fruit. And with this population, steps is a really big one. And most people are not walking enough. And so we always unpack the lowest hanging fruit things first, because most times it's the first thing that we are working on. If they have an Apple Watch or some type of wearable on their wrist that can monitor and track their steps, I always ask them how they are doing, how many steps they're getting, and then they would give me a number. And then I would be like, okay, do you have your phone with you? Then can you show me the graph? Can you show me the data of the steps you are walking? And I don't say this to be negative or anything from that perspective, but to be completely transparent, 100% of my patients, what they say and what the data shows has never lined up. So many of my patients have told me that they walk 7,000, 8,000, 10, 12. And then I look at the data, the graph, and yes, I know that there's going to be a variance between like how often they're actually wearing their watch, but majority of the numbers have always been around 3 to 4,000 steps on average. And this is after working with people for 2.5 years there, seeing people in the clinic 3 times a week, and never once has somebody said, I walk this many steps on average, and this is how many that they actually are getting once I look at the data. And so if you have some type of wearable on your wrist that can track your steps, it's very, very helpful thing, because just like our finances, if you don't know how much is coming in or where everything is going, then it's a slippery slope, because if you don't have your finger on the button, then you don't know where everything's going. You are just kind of going with the motion, and things will slip and slide, and you really have no idea what's going on. You may think you're making this much, you're saving, or you're only spending this much, but until you actually pull up your bank account, go into your bank statements, and see line by line what your behaviors are leading to for your spending, then you get a real realization of like, wow, I have been living above my means, and then it doesn't feel good, of course. So steps wise, that's the biggest thing that we all can do. And I highly encourage everyone to have some type of physical practice every single day. And that does not mean, I'm telling you, you need to go have some type of intense structured workout every single day, where it's lifting weights, intense cardio, or some combination of the two. No, I'm just saying is that every single day have some type of physical practice, root yourself in it, and that could just be walking. It is not that strenuous. We are talking about walking here. And I understand for some people, walking is a huge mountain, a huge monster that they are trying to slay. And if you were somebody who is listening and you roughly hang around 1 to 2 or even 3,000 steps, and just the fact that you are able to go from like, say, 2,000 to like 3,000 steps, or even like 3,500 or 4,000, that's fantastic. I am not diminishing your accomplishments, the growth you have displayed, but ju- but don't set the bar so low where you get comfortable with that. Just because you got a little bit of motion and then you made this progress doesn't mean you need to stay there and accept the bare minimum forever. It's like if you made progress and you are pushing the needle and you are showing growth, becoming someone new, then keep pushing, keep pushing. And so I highly encourage everyone to have some root themselves into some type of physical practice every single day, and that is walking. And from what the research shows is that every 1,000 steps you take, you basically have a better chance of living longer and happier. So definitely black and white numbers here. If you walk less than 4 or 5,000 steps, you are swinging the pendulum towards a more sedentary lifestyle. If you're within that 7 to 9,000 steps bubble range, that's an awesome bubble range to be in for health purposes. That way you reduce all risk of all-cause mortality. So basically you have a higher chance of living longer. You're not the chance of you developing those several different chronic diseases is significantly decreased, which is good. But if you can walk even more, like into the 10, into the 11, into the 12, or just see how high can you go, and sustain that frequently, consistently, make it sustainable, and ingrain it into your lifestyle and make it be a part of you, your identity, and consistently do it, I can guarantee you're going to look at life through a whole different lens. You're going to feel so good, and you're going to just, there's something called manage your halt. And for me, I try to walk anywhere between 10 to 15,000 steps on average. It's going to fluctuate from between the days and the weeks and things like that. And this is like before I started doing all this running that I have been doing. Because of the running and extra steps that I am getting from that, my steps are shooting into the 20K number range. And I'm not saying that to put me on a pedestal or anything like that, but I'm saying that when I am walking a lot more into that 10,000 steps, the 11 to the 15, yes, I'm doing it for health purposes. And then there's going to be definitely body composition, like favorable qualities from that by increasing your NEAT from a metabolic metabolism standpoint, since that has a way bigger effect on your body composition than just intentional exercise from that one lens. But the fact that I do it, it helps me regulate my emotions, my feelings, sort out my thoughts, and I don't want to have a short fuse. And it helps me really process and think and become very introspective with myself. I'm able to keep my body busy while I become more in tune with my mind, my thoughts, and try to come to some type of conclusion with whatever problem I'm trying to solve in my mind. And so I like this acronym called HALT, managing your HALT. So H stands for hunger, A stands for anger, L stands for lonely, and T stands for tired. So whenever I feel any of these different emotions from any of these different categories and iterations of those emotions, I understand that I am not walking enough. I need to go for a walk. And whether I can in that very moment or just at least try to get more throughout that day and throughout that week, I am better able to regulate and manage my thoughts and my emotions the more I walk. There's a direct correlation when I do that. And if I don't do that, if I allow my steps to linger into the 6K steps a day on average, then I can feel my emotional armor battery drain more. It's weaker. I feel like my armor, there's like an armor around me. I feel like it's lowered from like an emotional regulation standpoint, and my fuse is a lot shorter, and I don't like that version of me. And so I like walking as a bare minimum. It's a standard that I try to uphold because it's something I value from, yes, from the physical standpoint, but also from the psychological and emotional standpoint. So I highly encourage everyone to don't set the bar low. Like have some type of minimum standard for your steps because that's the nice thing when it comes to walking. You can do it anywhere, no matter what time of year it is. You can do it. It is very low skill because you've been walking since you were however old, one, two. I don't know. I don't have kids, so I don't know what age kids really start like walking freely. I'm guessing it's around that infancy one age area. I don't know. I could be totally off on this one, but you get the point. So root yourself into some type of physical practice, and the way that I would go about it is, okay, if you have some type of wearable, awesome. If you can invest in one, do it. It's just a one-time investment fee. You have it forever. It could be something as cheap as a Fitbit for like $70 to $100 if you buy a brand new, or go to Facebook Marketplace to buy one, slap it on your wrist, you're good to go. Fitbit, very trusted brand. The other ones could be Apple or Garmin, but those do, the price ticket does increase with those two. But it's a one-time thing. Like I have a Garmin watch that I have had for 5+ years, and I don't see myself buying a new one because this thing is super durable. And the only reason why I will buy a new one is because I just truly want to upgrade. So there's that. And so monitoring your steps is a great way for you to keep yourself accountable by looking at your steps. Now, don't get too caught up from looking at your steps daily. So like one day it could be less, the next day it could be higher, maybe because your steps are a little lower because you are in your work week. Say you work a normal 9 to 5, you're working from Monday through Friday, and you have kids practice after work. You have to go get groceries. There's a lot more different commitments and responsibilities on your plate. So yeah. So the way that I look at it is like, okay, try to look at your weekly average, because most people, the weekend is where they have more time. If you work a standard 9 to 5. And so look at your weekly average. So if your weekly average is like 4,000 steps, then compare that week to the following week. And it accounts for some of those like life things that happen, but also gives you a sense of self-responsibility and self-compassion for your situation of your lifestyle. So you compare it from week to week. So if one week is 4,000, the next week try to get 4,500. And that right there is a better display of you managing your behavior by seeing, okay, what can I do to get the number to go up? So then you're not too focused on like chasing after the pennies, but you're looking at it from a larger, bigger picture, holistic view of like, okay, where can I move the pieces on the chessboard to get the biggest return on your investment? And that, like, you kind of get the point there. So set some type of minimum standard. I highly encourage people to definitely have that like 7 to 9 bubble range. It doesn't have to be a fixed number every single time. A bubble range is more than sufficient, and try to get that to go up. I highly encourage that. The next thing that you can do is sleeping. So sleeping is your basically free steroid that you can do every single night for yourself. So whatever you need to do, knock it off. Like any bad things that you were doing, be an adult and fix yourself. Go to freaking bed. And this is probably something, a reminder for myself right now, because right now I'm playing almost like hooky with myself by staying up too late after having a whole week of like already sleeping really late, and then coming back, and I'm just slowly readjusting. But have some type of bedtime so then you can wake up at a good time and then have a large amount of sleep and quality sleep too, so then you can perform better the next day. Because our battery, like each day, we only have one set of batteries each day to do all the things we got to do, both physically, cognitively, and emotionally. And all that is determined the night before. So really, if you want to perform well tomorrow, what you do tonight is going to dictate how you feel starting the day off tomorrow. And that is something you can control. So go to bed, do whatever you need to, make your place super dark, make your place super cold, have some type of routine, go to bed roughly around the same time, wake up roughly the same amount of time. And I understand that everyone operates differently on different sleeps. Try getting more sleep and see how you feel. Most people have lived in the 5 hours a night range for so long where like they feel like they're fine. But entertain the idea of sleeping 6 hours a night or even 7. See how you feel. And if you feel awesome, you feel awesome. Chase after that. Try to do that. So whatever you have to do, if of course I don't expect this to be like an overnight change, but whatever you got to do to say, if you have a family, if you have a lot of things going on, just take a huge audit your evening routine and see what can you do. Try to be very solution problem solving oriented and see, okay, what can I do? How can I optimize my time better? Am I spending too much time cooking, going grocery shopping? Can I somehow get my groceries delivered? Can I plan a little better? Can I move things around so I'm not doing every single thing in one day? See where you can move things around and almost like knock two birds out with one stone. How can you be more productive or efficient with some of the things you're doing? And it's going to be problem solving. You have to problem solve for this so you can go to bed at a good time. Maybe you need to put your phone in the living room so you're not scrolling on TikTok and doom scrolling at night, just whatever. Set some type of routine up so then you can go to bed. It's going to be a little bit of resistance, but it's going to pay off. You're going to feel good. And so getting more sleep in, you're going to be able to emotionally and mentally be more stable, lack of a better term, for the next day. But also, if you are training really hard right now, it's going to help with your muscles to actually recover. It's going to help your brain to actually recover. And if you have a goal of changing your body composition, like fat loss and stuff, your body is able to actually recover and not be in a chronic stress state every single day. Because if you were trying to lose weight right now, trying to reduce the amount of body fat you have, and you're only sleeping 4 or 5 hours a night, that's a lot of stress on your body, and it's not going to want to care about reducing fat. It's going to try to redirect energy towards these other systems that need a little bit more attention. And there's going to be resistance. That's going to make things a lot harder. And so it's just going to suck, and you're not going to be able to recover as well, so that the likelihood of you getting injured when you're working out goes up a lot higher too. But if you're able to sleep more and get good quality sleep, then it makes everything in life so much easier, so much more fun, and you just have so much more energy. So if you need some type of wearable, like Garmin watches, like the one I have right now, can actually track your sleep too. If you need to go get a Whoop or an Oura Ring, Oura Ring's kind of expensive. That can, like a ring that goes on your finger that can track your sleep. But if you can even just get like a Whoop and just do like 1 to 3 a month and just try to get a pulse on where your sleep is. You don't have to wear it forever. I don't think people need to wear it forever. But if you don't know where your sleep is at right now and you just gotta use some of those technology that's out there every now and then to just really kind of hold yourself accountable and really check in and reflect on the quality and really assess your sleep quality and quantity right now, then do that for a short period of time until you don't need it, and then you can do it more intuitively because you know what you should be doing and what you should not be doing. So getting more sleep, having a wind down period, a consistent bedtime and wake up time, and all the rest of that is huge. If you want to see progress, you need to sleep more. It is, my God, it's something that most of us are not doing enough, and it's so potent and powerful that you can spend so much money on all these extra supplements that have some strong evidence, some mixed evidence, some low level evidence, and that's a lot of money. Or go spend money doing cryotherapy or doing money doing massages. And I'm not saying none of those things like move the needle, but the biggest return on your investment is sleep, and it is free. Focus on that. Really dial that in, and I promise you, you will see progress in your fitness, your health, your performance, in all buckets and all domains. The next thing is nutrition. I know that this can be a very soft and touchy area for a lot of people when it comes to tracking. Should I track? Should I look at numbers? Should I step on the scale or not? How dialed in do I have to be? I'm not a bodybuilder. I just want to feel better, health, things like that. And I understand that people can be very tribal with all this stuff too. And I get that. I get that. And so if you want to start with the lowest hanging fruit, the bare minimum, yes, definitely looking at numbers and stuff like that. Like you have to look at numbers in some way just to assess, and to you know what is happening, because you can't just assume and just be all that stuff. But I'm not saying you have to track and look at every single number. So if I were you and if I was starting on level 1 and I know nothing, then the first thing is, all of us generally know what we should be doing. All of us generally know what is good for us. And we have our own internal cues that will tell us. And maybe you just need some time to tune that, right? And so, what I would say is, before you look at any number and stuff, just focus on improving the quality. Don't focus on any too crazy tactic of like, should I do intermittent fasting? Should I not eat? What are my feeding windows? Oh, should I cut out food groups? Should I cut out this and that? Package, non-package? Don't do that. Just focus on improving quality. So, first thing, hydration. Drink more water. Simple as that. Simple as that. Drink more water, you know you're going to feel better more throughout the day, all that stuff. Drink more water. Now, the next thing after that, it's like, okay, I know that people are always harping on protein. What has protein? It is 2024. It is the age of information. We have an abundance amount of it. Go to ChatGPT and type in great quality lean sources of protein, or look up pictures or whatever. But generally, you have an idea of what food sources have higher quality amounts of protein. So whatever your preference is, it's like, okay, get more meat in, red meat, whatever. Okay, you like chicken, get more chicken in. You like fish, get more fish in. You like dairy products like Greek yogurt or milk, get more of those in. You like protein bars? Are those easy for you? Get those in. Do you like protein powders? Because those are really convenient. You work long hours, shift worker, things like that. Get more protein powders in. Just get more protein in some way, shape, or form. There's lots of different options out there. Okay, you need some type of vegetable, carby sources. Rice. Don't worry about brown or white. That's like looking at the minute, small, marginal 1% detail. Doesn't matter. You want more rice? Get more rice in. Eat more potatoes. Different types of potatoes. There's Russell, there's gold, there's purple, there's Japanese, there's Sweet potatoes, just get more potatoes in. Okay, you got more rice, you got more potatoes, you got more proteins in. Boom, let's go get more vegetables. If you're working on a budget and you need something fast, there's frozen vegetables, small bags, big bags. You can pop them for like a minute. You can saute it. You can fry. You can do anything. Just get more vegetables. Doesn't matter. Find ones that you like, that you'll eat more of, and do that. Boom. And then fruits. Get frozen fruit, get fresh fruit. Frozen fruit is really cheap and they mix them all together. You can make into a smoothie. There we go. Make a smoothie, put some of those stuff in. So these are very general things that you know that it's going to make you feel good. And this is something that I would highly recommend you to pay attention to and become more aware. When you eat something, listen to how that makes you feel in the moment and also afterwards, from just as a person. Like generally, like, how do you feel eating this? Does it make you feel good? Does it make you feel like you're moving in the right direction? Even though you don't know exactly how many calories and macros and things like that, you're just improving the quality. You're the trade-off. You're not opting to get something that maybe is fast food, that like McDonald's or Burger King, or things that have been more like greasy or fried or things like that. You people generally know that stuff is not going to lead you towards the right direction. But if you can lean and opt more towards things that are vegetables, potatoes, rice, protein sources from meat to fish to poultry to dairy products, or even like convenient powders or bars, those are great options. And drinking more water, boom, you're getting lots of fiber, you're getting lots of protein in. That's like just improving the quality of your food. It's going to increase all of the different nutrient like profiles, the density of it. Calorically, they're going to be a lot less. And so you're going to be getting a lot more of the nutrients that you are needing. And by that, you're going to feel good. And you do that long enough, you're moving directionally in the right way to building muscle, to supporting your body, to feeling good, to improving your digestion, all that stuff. Now, if you want to like dial in on the actual numbers and the macros and the calories, yes, you can do that. But just the bare minimum, just focus on the quality. Because if you only eat 3 meals a day, like, or even two, like if you only eat 2 or 3 meals a day, and let's stick with the three example. If you eat 3 times a day, and both of those, it's like one of them is you go to Starbucks to get your coffee, and it's some type of frappuccino mixed sugary thing, and then you get some type of like little sandwich with it, and then your lunch you DoorDash something, and then if the evening you actually try to make something. Okay, if you just change one of those three, like if the evening is something where you make something, or if you DoorDash everything, if you just change one of those to where, hey, your dinners, you actually make yourself something. You learn how to cook. You have something that's like, say, you get some type of protein source and you get some potatoes. So like say you get chicken and then you get potatoes and then you get like frozen vegetables, and boom, that is a meal. And by itself, comparing it, I can guarantee it's going to have a lot more protein, a lot more nutrient dense across all the different profiles, and it's going to be a lot more calorically not as dense compared to you getting something from like Jimmy John's or from whatever takeout order. And by doing that, you're going to get better. You're going to get more nutrients, and it's going to help you get results, whether it is weight loss, fat loss, building more muscle, maintain the muscle you have, or just improve digestion and health altogether. Start with improving the quality, and then you can go up the tier system from there with how much more dialed in you want to get the further along you are. But you got to expose yourself to these type of foods and learn how to become more in tune with how are these foods making you feel, and they will also keep you fuller longer from the protein and the fiber. So yeah, so recap all this stuff. The bare minimum essential things that you can do. The first thing is root yourself into some type of physical practice, and that is walking. The more steps you can take, boom. Do you have to have a wearable? No. Does it help? Yes. So get into the habit, build that behavior, and find a way to, and ask yourself with all this stuff is, what would this look like if this was easy and if this was fun? So getting those steps in, I can guarantee will help in every single domain. Guarantee getting more steps in. Next thing is sleeping more. Boom, get more sleep in. Next thing is improving the quality of the foods you are consuming. Boom, 3 levers that you already have to do some form of it every single day, and boom, you can get better. And all the different wearable options to monitor and assess, yes, those do cost money, but do you have to do it? No. You can intuitively just do it by, let me just walk a little bit more. Let me just go walk my dog for an extra 10 minutes each go around whenever they go potty. Oh, in the morning, let me walk more. Oh, let me park further when I go to places. Oh, sleeping. I know I'm only sleeping 4 or 5 hours a night. Let me just kind of bump that up a little bit more and fix some things and see how I feel. If I feel good, I want to keep feeling good. Let me keep doing this. Oh, nutrition wise, I feel like I'm constipated. My stomach is really not good. I'm a little too tooty, and I just don't feel good. I'm breaking out a lot. I don't feel energized, and I don't know what nutritional advice to go. What camp should I lean into? What advice, because there's so misinformation. Let me just lean back on the basic foundational stuff of, let's get some more protein, let's eat some more fruits and vegetables and potatoes and fiber, and drink more water, and just do all that and just see how I feel. I can assess that myself and see how I feel. And if I feel good, let me keep doing that. Wow, does my food taste like shit a little bit? Maybe I need to start seasoning my proteins a little more. Maybe I got to salt some stuff a little better, season my stuff. And you learn how to do that stuff. Wow, it's also saving me money and time. And there we go. So all this stuff, very bare minimum essentials that everyone should be doing. And like, if you're thinking about hiring a coach, I can guarantee you're just not doing enough of the boring basic stuff. Do more of this before you hire somebody. If you want to get like a AI powered food tracking app online, there's some great ones. There's all these different things, but if you just stick to the bare minimum essentials and do that really well, frequently, consistently, really often for a long time, you are going to see results, I can guarantee it, from the way that you feel every day, from your body composition, from your ability to perform in life, be able to run around more, your joints not hurting, you're recovering a little bit better, you're mentally more stable, emotionally, be able to manage yourself a little better in your mind, and you just feel better, and you're just glowing, and your blood markers are all looking good. Your blood sugar levels are in controllable ranges, and you're protecting your brain and all these different things. You just get to show up as a better version of yourself. So really dial in on the bare minimal essentials, and you can refine and dial things in more individually, the more interested you want to get, or the faster you want to increase your rate of progress, or you want to learn more, things like that. But walk, sleep, eat well, take care of yourself, boom, manage your stress, all that good stuff. So that's just really quick on just what are the bare minimums that you can do to see progress. Sweet, short, sweet, right to it. Thank you guys for listening. And if you have not yet, please hit that follow button. Please subscribe. Please leave a rating, a review of what you are thinking, how these are landing with you. I would highly appreciate that. Helps the channel grow, makes me very happy, and allow me to eventually do this full time. I thank you. All right. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, you beautiful people. Bye. Much love.